Hey guys, it's me, Evelyn, here on Ironic Exloser, and today we're going to be doing a TUMBLR type of graphic. I created this for my new Tumblr. Links are in the description to my Tumblr as well as on my channel. So this is going to be a tutorial on how to recreate this edit here that I created. It's Walking Dead related. I'm featuring Beth Green. It is in K-pop. Hope you guys don't mind that I didn't do K-pop related Tumblr edit. It could be poster edit as well if you want to do two people, but I just did one person, and I'm going to show you guys how to recreate this. So of course, in all my tutorials, you guys always get a resource pack if it's related to Tumblr or to poster editing. You always get a resource pack. You get the coloring PSD, which is right here, as well as the poster PSD, which is this one here. I'm going to go ahead and drag the poster PSD into Photoshop because we're going to use it as a reference because I did make this graphic a few days ago and not 100% sure what I did, but this is what we're going to do. So of course, in all our edits, I'm just going to hide everything, and my poster size is 500 by 600 pixels as always, resolution at 72. So I'm going to go to File, New, and we're going to go ahead and make a new document. I'm going to go to Customs and just go ahead and go Fanfiction Poster, and I'll make this TUMBLR graphic tutorial. Alright, so now we have this here. We're going to want to fill in our background, which is a solid gray color. I already have my gray color picked here. It's just all twos, like so. I'm just going to go ahead and go to the adjustment layers and go to solid color. And it's just going to appear, and we're going to click OK. And in our resource pack, we're going to use our first image, which is the background of the house. I'll just drag in a new tab so you guys can see what it looks like. This is our background. We're going to click and drag it, and we're going to place it right about here. I'm going to zoom out a bit so you guys can see, like so. And this is just going to be our background. I'm not sure if I resized this, but yeah. So I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Next, I'm going to drag in this picture here, which is of a statue of an angel. We're going to click and drag it over to our image. We want to place it right about here. I'm going to tilt it just a smidge, like so. And what I do is add a layer mask and grab my round brush tool. Let me just reset my brushes. And grab a round brush tool. Make it a very big size. You can use the brackets on your keyboard. Right bracket for increasing your brush size, a left bracket for decreasing your brush size. So right to make it bigger, left to make it smaller. We're going to make it about this size, so 250 pixels wide. And make sure our hardness is at 0. And what we're going to do is on our layer mask, we're going to use black as our foreground color, and we're just simply going to fade in the harsh edges because we don't want it to blend or have hard edges where you can actually see where the textures meet. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and close this out. We're going to drag in our skull here. This is a very big image, so we're going to click and drag it over to our edit, and as you see it's really big. We're going to Control T, scale it down to maybe half its size, so about 250. You can lock the chain link. And we're going to do 50 pixels here. I'm going to tilt it like so, and we're going to drag it down so that it hides that logo there, and maybe resize it just a smidge so we get something like this here. And I'm not going to blend this one in, but I am going to maybe fade the top of it just so that we get no harsh edges, and as well as the side here, so something like this here. So next we're going to grab in our next texture, which is the waterfall, black and white waterfall image. We're going to close this one out. We're going to click and drag it into our Tumblr edit. We're going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, and we're going to bring it right about here. We're going to set Normal to Lighten, just so we get this little, it kind of hides the other images as well. We're going to add a layer mask. We're going to get our round brush tool, but up here on our opacity, we're going to lower our opacity. We're going to make our brush a little bit smaller, and we're simply going to just kind of fade away some of the harshness of the image so that we get something like this here. I'm going to move it over to the left a little bit, maybe a little bit down. maybe scale it a bit as well. The line's a bit long for me, or wide. Anyways, so that looks good. I'm gonna press my X and my white to be my foreground color, and I'm gonna bring a little bit of the waterfall lines here so that it kind of goes over the statue a bit. So next we're going to grab our castles in the air image, and I'm gonna close the other one out, bring it over, and we're gonna drag it up so that the stairs kind of align where the statue is, so that it hits the corner of the image. And we're simply gonna set this to soft light. And the reason I set it to soft light is so that you can actually see the stairs still in the background, but also gives the image some coloring, and you can see the castles and the clouds in the background as well. Our next texture we're going to use is also a stair image, and it's called Door to Dreams. We're going to click and drag it over, and we're going to have it set right about here. It's going to cover the full image. Go to normal, and we're going to hit it to soft light as well, so that the stairs I use it to kind of add more depth into the image. So now we're going to go ahead and grab our image of our main character. I'm using this one of Beth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the body up to this point here, and I'm going to leave this here undid, and I'm going to do something else with that. Okay, so I have most of it cut out. Now I'm going to show you what I did for this. What I did was I grabbed my lasso tool, I held down on my lasso tool and selected magnetic lasso tool. I click and I let it drag around her hair area here, all the way down here, and then it just simply did up and around, and it doesn't really matter if it gets all of the background right here, because we're just going to get rid of it anyways. I duplicate my image first, I drag my layer mask to it, and I apply the layer mask. Then I click on refine edge while my magnetic lasso tool is still selected, and we'll get this. I have my view set to overlay. What I did was I have my brush tool here, and what I did is I select around the hair. Now my brush tool is pretty big, so I'm using my left bracket to make it smaller, and I'm just going to go ahead and just simply touch where the hair is, where my magnetic lasso tool did its little connection. And this is what I get here. I'm going to just fix this edge up real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and just contrast it just a smidge, to about 6 pixels or whatever. You can click OK. I'm simply going to hit backspace just to delete that area on my image, and this is what I get. I'm just simply going to use my regular lasso tool and select around it, hit backspace, and then as I just drag it over to my poster. Now this cutout isn't the best, but for the tutorial's sake it will work. I go Control T and I shift and scale it down to its almost natural looking on the image. So I'm going to scale it down a little bit more to maybe right about here, and I'm going to click the check mark to say OK. So we'll do something like this. Let me just pause and fix it to however I like. Okay, so I resized it and fixed it up a bit with the hair and the face a bit. But we're going to go ahead and just close out that one. You can go ahead and say no unless you want to save your image PNG. So once we have this done, just going to leave it right about there. We're going to go ahead and add in the other two textures, which is she's a killer queen and the antlers. So dragging in the antlers first, I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's behind our image but above all the others. Control T, and we're going to scale it down so that it fits her head. Just something like this here. I'm going to grab the foreground color on my color picker and tab the color right on here. Grabbing my round brush tool, make sure my opacity is at 100, I'm going to fill this in with the rest of the color here, just so it smooths out more. Now we'll set the image to screen, like so. Then I have my next image here. Click and drag. I'm going to Control T, scale it down to right about here, and I might move the image over a little bit, but this is a good size. Just going to shift this one and this one over to right about here. And I will set this on the screen as well. drag it down like so. Like that. So I realized that my light here, supposed to be over more so that you can see it more behind her. So I'll do this here. I'll move my skulls a little bit over as well, so you can see a little bit more of them. I'll move this just a smidge as well. Now my image of the girl is a bit darker, so I'm going to go and add a brightness and contrast. So I'm going to adjustment brightness and contrast. I'm going to do this about 80 pixels or 80 brightness and about 35 contrast. And then I'm just going to hold Alt and just have it to a clipping mask so that it only brightens her up. Now we have that done. We can add in our PSD coloring, which is here. Click and drag it. Now, what I did was I grabbed the coloring first and moved it over, and we get this here. Then I dragged in the textures. Now for me, the textures are too dark. I didn't want it to fully color her face, so I duplicated the textures. Ctrl J while they're selected, and go to Edit, Transform, Flip, Vertical, and then drag those two down until they touched. Like so. And I don't think I did that one. I think I just stretched this one out all the way. Like so. Yep. Okay, so this is what we have, and now we're just going to go ahead and File, Save As. So you can save it as a PNG, and then just put it on my desktop. Interlaced, and click OK. Then after it's saved, we're going to go ahead and close this. I'm just going to say no, because I already gave you guys the PSD to it, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to bring in our saved image, so right here. All I did was I duplicated it. Went to Filter, Topaz Labs, Topaz Clean, and see if I need to clean it up a bit. Once this opens, I just did like a soft one. Click OK, and that's just a preset I have. I'm gonna tell you guys what the preset is if you guys have Topaz Clean. Not all of you guys do have it. So the clean is at strength 0, 0.50, and the radius is at 8. The edges are at 2, 1.50 radius, and 0.20 sharpen, and the texture is at 0, boost is at 1.00, and stress is at 2.00. That's what I added. Then just go to Filter, Sharpen, Smart Sharpen, and then just Smart Sharpen it. 500 amount, 0.3 pixels. And you're done. I hope you guys liked this tutorial. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And I hope to have more for you guys soon. Bye guys.